Good. All right, everyone. Have a seat. We're getting ready to get started. My name is Dawn Ireland. I am the president and founder of CDH International, formerly known as Cherubs, which is now our parent support division of CDH International. Right over there is Tracy Meese. She's the president of Cherubs. Rachel, our office manager, is right here. Josh is back over there. And Hope is right here. So anyone wearing the white shirt, we are board members or staff. We are happy to help you if you have any questions or if you need anything at all, you have any problems, let us know. So tonight is our pizza party, and we have a few traditions here that we do every year. It's part of something that we all enjoy. While we're talking, eat pizza. Feel free to get up, just please do it quietly. We're going to have everyone come up and introduce your cherub and tell your stories. And we have how many minutes, Rachel, each? 4 minutes. I know that's short, but there are a lot of us here. So we have we have families of 30 cherubs registered at this conference. That's more than we've ever had. So we have a lot of stories to tell, and that's wonderful. And 4 minutes is an introduction. So you don't have to tell your entire story tonight. When we have roundtables on Saturday, you're going to have plenty of opportunities. We want to hear every single person's journey in depth. So tonight's introductions, and then Saturday we're going to really dig into all of our journeys and our highs and our lows and what CDH has affected and in our lives and our kids. And so don't think that we're cutting you off because we don't want to hear. We absolutely do want to hear, but we want to give everyone the time and attention that you all deserve. So we're going to do that on Saturday, okay? There are tissues on the table. We know from experience, we all are going to need the tissues. And there's like no shame in crying. My makeup is going to be down here. I want no judging and no Facebook pictures, okay? So, I heard that, Tar. Many of us have been coming to these conferences for years, and many of you are brand new. And I want you all to know that by the end of this weekend, everyone is going to know everyone. We are all going to be family. We have a few rules here. One is no judging. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's patient is different. Everyone's outcome is different. And there is zero judging. There's no tolerance for that here, okay? Also, what is said in the roundtables on Saturday is 100% confidential. It will not be on live Facebook. It will not be shared. What is said at your table stays at your table. We respect everyone's privacy, okay? The third thing is, please take lots of photos and post them to our page. If anyone has any problems with their photo being taken this weekend, tough, sorry. It's going to be too hard. There's no way we're going to be able to edit you out. So put a bag over your head. That's the best I can do for you. Let's see what else. What am I forgetting, Tracy? Is that it? When someone is speaking, please be quiet. It's very hard for some people to speak publicly about something that is so emotional. So let's give everyone respect. Let's not clap after every person because we will be here all night if we do that, okay? So we will give hugs at the end. I'm a big hugger. If I haven't hugged you yet, trust me, I will hunt you down before the end of the weekend. If you have a problem with that, just tell me to stay in my own space and I'll respect that. But, we're a big family here, and we may seem like really big and kind of, I don't know, what's the word on Facebook, that we're not personal because there's so many of us, because the organization is so big, but really, we are all family, and some of us have been as close as siblings for 25 years, Tar and I, for example, like she's my sister, we've been through everything together. And we want you all to come from this conference with the same types of relationships that the rest of us have built over the years, because that's what's important. And it doesn't matter what country you're from, because we have more than one country here tonight. It doesn't matter what hospital you came from, what procedures you've had, what the outcome is. We are all equal, and we all want to just kind of learn from each other, because one person's journey is different from someone else's journey. Now, we have a couple of other rules, and that is there will be no medical advice given at this conference, okay? So don't tell another parent what to do. There will be no, hey, my kid has outgrown this medical equipment, do you need it? We don't do that here, that's illegal. No sharing of any medical anything, that's illegal too, so let's not do that. When the doctors are here tomorrow, they are going to speak in general terms. Unless they are your child's specific doctor, they cannot give you medical advice. So I just want to FYI with that, okay? I think that's it. So we're going to get started with the stories. If anyone comes in, Tracy and Chris will take care of them, and they'll quietly sit in the back. If you see them come in and look for a table, and you have an empty chair, raise your hand, tell them to come over here and sit down. Don't yell across the room, okay? Respect the person who is talking, and we're going to go down a list, somewhat alphabetical.
How do you want me to do the time? Do you want me to give them a 30-minute, 30-second?
We have 4 minutes each, okay? So when Hope starts doing this, and 30 seconds left, wrap it up. If you don't want to go 4 minutes, you don't have to. You can come up here and say, my name is, my kid is, they have left-sided CDH. You're up here 30 seconds. You want to sit down, that's fine. You don't have to use your 4 minutes. Rachel's going to post photos of yourself, if you're the survivor, or your child, right here on the screen. If you did not send your photo to me or her, you've literally got 10 seconds to get it to her before we start. Otherwise, we're going to have this or our CDH International logo. And we're more than happy to put it up on our Facebook page later because we don't want your child excluded, but we kind of ran out of time to do that. So I think that's it. So I'm going to tell my story first. That's how we always start, so I can tell you guys how to do it. And I will remind you 4 minutes. I know it seems like a really short time, and I'm sorry, but sometimes we've had these conferences and we've had parents stand up here for 20 minutes each. We can't do that tonight. That's just not a possibility, okay? All right, so my name is Dawn Ireland. My son Shane was born in 1993 with undiagnosed left-sided condyle diaphragmatic hernia. He had his stomach and his intestines up in his chest cavity. He had a right full lung, and he had 1/3 of his left lung. He also had atrial septal defect, hypospadias, lung hypoplasia, and a couple of other minor birth defects. He did not have a genetic syndrome that we know about. He was born full term in a country hospital in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter in Virginia, and was flown into Duke University in January at 3 hours old. He had his first repair at 3 days. He had a second repair at 4 months. He caught pneumonia at 4 months and suffered brain damage from lack of oxygen. So at that point, we became vent dependent. He caught pneumonia several times. He caught 30 blood infections in his first 10 months in ICU at Duke. It was one thing after another. We brought him home against medical advice. We had to go in front of the ethics committee. We brought him home on a ventilator trach. At the time, he was blind and deaf. And they wanted us to unplug him because they said he was a vegetable and he was gone. And I said no, because as a mom, I just knew he was there. And so we fought for him. He came home in November, and by December he started focusing on Christmas tree lights. So they were wrong. By the time he was 2, he was off the ventilator, the trach was out, he was off oxygen, and he was walking. He was doing sign language at 3. He went to the deaf preschool. He had 6 CDH repairs by the time he was 6 years old. And he re-herniated again and was prepared to do surgery, but he unexpectedly died at home while we were waiting to put some weight on him for the next repair. I would not trade those 6.5 years for anything. He was a happy kid. He loved Sesame Street and Matchbox cars and books, and he would give his toys to any other kid. He was happy and sweet and loving, and he did everything here in 6.5 years that I will probably not do in 100 if I'm lucky to live that long. And that is his whole story. And he died in 1999, and I'm still here with my big mouth and stubbornness, trying to raise awareness of CDH and see if we can make a difference so that less parents have to go through what my family went through. Okay, so that's my story. And Tracy is going to be next.
Hello everybody, my name is Tracy Meets. I've been the Cherub's president for 2 years, and I'm the mom to Cherub Ian. Ian's over here, and he recently turned 15 in April. Ian was born with an undiagnosed left-sided CDH, April 3rd, 2004.
So she's not on the video. Oh, it's not showing on the live feed. I don't know if you
The
care.
light's bright. And I had 3 different ultrasounds that they could have picked up the CDH, and it was not diagnosed. I was also measuring about 4 weeks bigger than what I was along in weeks, and my water broke at 36 weeks, and we entered the hospital, and I knew it. It was a gut feeling that something was wrong, and he was in respiratory distress, and he was rushed to the operating room, and we did a C-section. And when they pulled him out, he was a purplish, bluish color. He was not breathing. We thought we were expecting a healthy baby girl, and when they pulled him out, he was a boy. And they said that they took him right away to the, nursery. They were trying to get him to breathe and rub him down and trying to get him to make sound. I was freaking out. I had no clue what was going on, and when the doctor came back, he said, "Your son has CDH." I had no clue what that CDH was, and they said that they would be life-flighting him 3 hours from home. And the doctors basically told me he had a hole in his diaphragm, he was going down there, he would have surgery, and he'd be home. It was almost like he would be home in a week, and that was not the case. The life flight team arrived, and that's when I found out what CDH really was. The Children's Hospital gave me a big, long story of what CDH, and that he would be lucky to make it through the night. They gave us a 5% chance that he would survive the night, and he was put on ECMO upon his arrival down there at Children's Primary Hospital in Salt Lake City, Utah. He spent a week on ECMO. He had his surgery on day 5, and from there he came off ECMO on day 7, and he continued to make good progress. We had bad days and good days. I got sick when he was in the NICU, and they banned me from the NICU. They sent me home, and I had to go home and not spend time with my baby. But he had one more surgery towards the end of coming home from the hospital. He spent 2 months in the hospital. He had a left and right inguinal surgery and an undescended testicle surgery done before he came home from the hospital. But after that, he has made great progress, as you can tell. He has no problem growing. He's now taller than me. He does have some exercise-induced asthma, but that doesn't stop him. He's an awesome tennis player and does really well. And
I can't afford to feed you.
I was so proud of him this last year in biology class. He stood up in front of his class and shared what CDH was and everything about him. And the teacher was so impressed because she'd never heard about CDH that she invited him back to all of her biology classes and was able to share his story with others. So the whole high school now knows what CDH is, and we're lucky to have him.
Guys are not supposed to clap. No, it's brilliant. He's an amazing kid, amazing kid. And we're so grateful for all Tracy does. How are we doing on time, Hope? Are we keeping, okay. Josh is coming up next. Josh gets 8 minutes because Josh has 2 chairs. I also want to let you all know, and I should have done this earlier, we are live on Facebook right now. If you do not want to be on live, that's fine. We can turn it off, and you can tell your story in private. We have no problem with that whatsoever. So just let us know when you come up. No judgment. We turn it off, and we turn it back on to the next person, okay? No big deal, so just let you know. All right, ready, Josh? Now, where did you tell people to stand just before we get... Right about here?
Over there.
Can you stand here? So he's not, because the light won't be in your eyes.
Try. Stand here. Okay, yeah, I just can't. Go there. Go over there. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Is that better?
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to be in the light.
You can go a little further even. There you go. Yeah.
All right. So I made promises today, and I'm going to keep them because anybody who's done this or seen me before, as my mother explains it, my family has a high water table. So we're gonna do it, and Tara, I'm not sure what we bet, but I'm gonna win this one. So I'm Josh Hensley. Like Dawn said, I have 2 daughters who had CDH. This is Evie. She was our first. She was diagnosed at our 20-week ultrasound. We sent us to the specialist. You know, and I don't know why, but we didn't really like get online and check anything out or like research anything. We just kind of went with it and went with what the doctor said. They said, oh, it just kind of happened, so we don't know why. And we're like, okay. He's like, but it's 50-50, and we won't know until she's born. We're like, okay. So it was a scheduled induction for her. So we went to University of Utah Hospital. They had to deliver at University of Utah and then transfer over to Primary Children's because Primary Children's Salt Lake does not have a labor and delivery. So she was born. She went over to the NICU. I went to see her and talked to the NICU medical director for a little bit, and then went back and went to sleep in our hospital room, and the recovery side. And we got a phone call and said, you guys need to come over. And so I said, okay. So we went over and I said, we're doing some tests right now, but she's not doing well. We're seeing if she's a candidate for ECMO. And I said, okay. So they came back and they said, well, she has a small hemorrhage in her brain, which normally is not that big of a deal. It happens to a lot of babies when they're born. This is like kind of birthing trauma, and normally it doesn't really matter. However, to put her in ECMO, we have to thin the blood, and if we thin the blood, the hemorrhage would grow and would cause permanent brain damage, and she would die from that. So she is not a candidate for ECMO. And we said, okay, and so we sat and had the kind of quality of life conversation. So we took her off of life support. She was 14 hours old. And yeah, she never made it to repair anything. That was never an option for her. So then fast forward, and we were told, this kind of happens, we don't really know why, but don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. So fast forward 2 years, pregnant again. And of course they said, okay, you're gonna go to this high-risk specialist. And it was the doctor, it wasn't the doctor we originally had with Evie, but it was one of his partners who actually delivered Evie. And so we went to her, went to everything, and I'm at work one day and I get a phone call, and she went to her ultrasound, and it was like 13 or 14 weeks. I mean, it was early. And she called and she says, my wife calls me and she said, this baby has CDH too. And I was like, but they said that doesn't happen, because that's what we were told. I said, well, then we find out, well, apparently there's about a 2% chance that it can happen again, but they kind of don't really tell that to people. We're like, oh, that's super great. So we kind of knew what to expect this time, hoping for it to be a little different. And so this is Allie, so this is daughter number 2. And she decided to not only have CDH, but come at 33 weeks and 3 days. So she was 6.5 weeks early. So she was 4 pounds, 8 ounces on top of having CDH. Went back to the same hospital, same deal, same program, same NICU medical director. And I went over to the hospital, and I was sitting by her bed, and the medical director was in the room, and he was over talking to another family, another patient. And I was sitting there, it's been 2 years, you know, and it's a big hospital. And it was Dr. Knoll. I see how anybody who went to primary children's knows Dr. Knoll knows. Anyway, and he comes over and walked right up to the bed, gave me a really big hug, and said, this time's going to be different, Dad. I lost. And it was. She had her first repair a few days old. She was missing about 90% of her diaphragm. Had her first repair, did great. Was recovering really, really well. And then she got sick and started kind of throwing up. And so they did some tests, and she had what's called, I only remember the abbreviation of nuke. It's basically an intestinal infection. But then they discovered, oh, well, part of the problem is she re-herniated. And we said, oh. So they did a second repair. And they had a second repair, so okay, we got the second repair done, it's okay, no issues, you're good. But she didn't ever quite do as well as she had done after the first repair, after the second repair. But she was born February 27th. I should know this. February 27th, day after my brother. Day apart. Anyway, February 27th, we took her home June 13th from the NICU. She went home on oxygen, and some meds, nothing too severe. So we had her home for a while. August of that year, she went back to the hospital and stayed a week. And they just said, well, we don't like what she's doing, but we don't really know what's wrong. And so we were experienced parents by then and kind of fought to say, well, if there's nothing really wrong, you're not just going to keep her here for observation. Like, this is kind of expensive. So we got to take her home again after that, and then fast forward to just about 2 weeks before her first birthday. And it's RSV season. And she was really sick. And so we took her to our family pediatrician, and he said, well, I don't think it's RSV. I think it's just a flu, but I want you guys to go to primary children's and have it checked out just to be sure. And we said, okay. So we did our primary children's, and they said, well, it's not RSV. I'm like, but she re-herniated again. I said, okay. And we're afraid that it's constricting her bowels, so we need to do surgery tomorrow. So they did the surgery. Surgery took a lot longer than what happened. She had what they call a pulmonary hypertensive crisis. She basically died on the operating table in that repair. They revived her. She was in the PICU for a month at that time, spent her first birthday in the PICU. And then, like, one day, all of a sudden, got better, and they sent her home. Like, out of the blue, she just got better after having a lot of struggles. And so we took her home again, and that's what we hung our hat ups on as our miracle. And then fast forward to June of that year, and my wife got up and went to get her dressed for her physical therapy appointment, and she was in her crib and not breathing. Called 911, took her to the hospital. They don't know if she had a heart attack and stopped breathing or stopped breathing and had a heart attack, but she was without oxygen for 20 minutes. We did the 72-hour waiting period. They did tests. And they said, we can keep her alive for as long as you want, but this is as good as it's ever going to be. And so at 15 months, we removed her from life support as well. But there's somewhat of a silver lining to our story, because we have 2 more girls now who are both perfectly normal and healthy and have no issues. And so when people are scared, and they always ask, and I said, well, everybody has to make their own choice, but we chose to not be defeated. And we got pretty lucky the next time around. So.
What time is it? You want to tell me what?
7 o'clock.
All right, we kind of got a little bit behind because, well, we kind of got behind, and that happens with us, you know. We have a lot of people and kids and travel and all that. So the sun's starting to go down a little bit, and before we get more in-depth in stories, what I'd like to do is to go ahead, put wings on the kids, get the balloons, go out there, have our balloon release, and then we will come back and we will start with hope. And we will share everyone else's stories while the sun is still up, and while on the note of Josh telling us about Allie and Evie, we remember the kids that are not here. So that's what the balloon release is for. We're gonna untie the balloons, and I will ask, please do not let any balloons touch any of the sprinkler systems because we will all be in trouble. They warned us the whole hotel, the sprinkler system will go off. So please, please, please don't let that happen. Go in the back, grab a pair of wings to put on the kids. All the kids are welcome to wear wings. They do not have to be CDH kids. They're all invited to participate. And then we're going to walk out, and then we're going to come back, and then we are going to finish the rest of the stories. And our mascot is also, where's she? Is it back there? Okay, and our mascot's also going to make an appearance as we go out there, and then we will come back. So we're going to do this in an orderly fashion, and then we're going to come straight back. You can leave pretty much everything in here, it'll be fine. And then we'll come right back, okay?
We're just going to turn this around and it's going to follow us out there. Okay, so with us, I have lost.
Tomorrow morning we have breakfast at 7 and then we start after that.
Make sure you flap real hard, Well, you sound wonderful.
Rachel, you've got the time. Everybody have your cameras. Everybody have your